Hello everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. And we're going to be using a deck that I featured not that long ago, which is a Kingdra Greninja deck that a lot of people seem to like and seems like a pretty fun deck to play. And we'll go ahead and show this deck off one more time. Why not? It's pretty fun. So we're going up against Victini 230. We see a Sableye, so we can assume some kind of a Darkrai or Yveltal deck. We don't know if there's Garbodor. That's going to be the big question here, but we have a general idea of what we're going to face here when we see Sableye most of the time. We're going to see some Darkrai most likely, Yveltal EX for sure, and from there, I guess we'll find out. Now my hand is actually ridiculously good. Turn 2, I can get Rare Candy, Greninja, and also a Frogadier, and we can really get going right away with the Water Shurikens and all sorts of good stuff. Of course, the strategy of this deck revolves around Greninja's Water Shuriken, discards a water energy from your hand, and then puts 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Combines with Kingdra's Dragon Vortex, which does 20 damage for each energy in your discard pile, water or lightning, and then shuffles them back into your deck. So that's the general strategy. We use Greninja to place damage counters and discard water energy, and then Kingdra to come in with a big hit to sweep your opponent away. Now, unfortunately, I got hit by the mighty red card, which puts me down to 4 cards. It's a very, very strong card, and definitely messed with me there. I had lots of options ready for turn 2. Now I'm down to 4 cards, and all of a sudden things are not looking as good. Before I had the Rare Candy, Greninja, the Frogadier, I had everything going, and now I got a Froakie. But at least I was fortunate enough to get a supporter, which will be a Colress for a nice 7 cards here. And I am pretty happy with that. Also got another Tropical Beach, which I can go ahead and put down once again. Get rid of that Verbank City Gym. And we can draw 2 extra cards this turn. Might as well do that. So we'll draw 2 and hopefully get some stuff going for next turn. I'm hoping next turn to get a Kingdra out so we can start using its attack Tri-Bullet for 1 water energy does 30 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon, which also has some nice synergy with Greninja's Water Shuriken, because you can spread damage around, pick things off. It's a really cool combo. It takes a lot to get going, but it's definitely nice. So we're going to try to get Kingdra out next turn, but I don't see any possible combination of cards to do that yet. If I were to top deck an Ultra Ball or a Rare Candy, we could Skyla for the missing piece and then get the Kingdra into play. But for now, it looks like we may have to just settle for getting Seadra next turn and maybe using Tropical Beach again. We do see a Pokemon catcher, and that is a Tails. That may have been bad for me. Probably a Horsey goes down there. But ends up just using Evil Ball to take down poor Froakie. Now, I did not draw into the Rare Candy or the Ultra Ball or a Kingdra any way to get a Stage 2 out this turn. I could Skyla for Rare Candy and then get Greninja into play, but I don't feel like that's going to help me too much if I have to waste my supporter for the turn getting Greninja into play. I could just use its attack miss slash if I want to, but I don't feel like that's a very good use of my resources, so an N may be better here to try to draw a more explosive combination of cards right here. But it looks like we don't get much of anything. So now I got to decide what do I want to sacrifice in this situation. Things are not really going well right now. We have some decent hands, but we just haven't been able to get those Stage 2s into play quite yet. So I think I'm going to sacrifice Voltorb in this situation. Oop, another Tails on Pokemon catcher. I do want to keep 2 Horsey and 2 Froakie in play so we can get, plenty of Stage 2s going. Voltorb seems like the odd man out at this point. We may have to just kind of sacrifice the poor little guy. And, if he gets knocked out, we can take advantage of that ability. Destiny Burst. If I flip heads after my opponent knocks me out with damage from an attack, that actually takes 5 damage counters, which could set up nicely. Wow, we see another catcher and another tails from the opponent. So, as unfortunate as we've been to not set up our Pokemon, we've been pretty fortunate with those Pokemon catchers. I'm not sure how much those would impact the game, but I'm probably happier having Voltorb get knocked out than a Horsey at this point. So, hey, I won't complain. I got a decent hand off of the N to 6 here. We got another supporter, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. Got a Greninja and a level ball as well. This might be a big flip for Voltorb here. Putting 5 damage counters on the defending Pokemon would be awesome, but looks like that's not going to be the case. Flip tails for that ability, and Voltorb just goes down with a sputter instead of a spark. And now we gotta find a way to claw back into this game. So right now we're down 2 prizes. There's a fully powered Darkrai, and then also an Yveltal EX on the bench with those 2 Dark Energy. My opponent has a lot of stuff going. There's lots of energy. I don't have my stage 2s out. I finally got Greninja. So we can water Shuriken. And might as well put the 3 on to the Darkrai, give ourselves a chance to do something there. I was hoping to get Rare Candy Kingdra again, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. And I am just going to Tool Scrapper, get rid of those 2 Dark Claw. And now I got a decision. Do I want to Smoke Screen, potentially stop the Darkrai from attacking? The problem with that is he could just retreat and Evil Ball. So I think my better option might be to attack with Greninja here. I could just use Mist Slash for 50, and that way I could, maybe keep Greninja alive since I got rid of those Dark Claws. There's not really a good way for my opponent to knock me out in one hit here, so I might attack with Greninja, or we could just kind of shove him up there and I think it would be better to attack with them, but I think I already attached my energy for the turn. That was kind of a mistake. It looks like I put the energy on Seadra, and I'm just going to Tropical Beach instead then. Fill up my hand to 7. Maybe doing the 50 there was the right thing, but I can't really go wrong filling my hand up to 7 either. I feel like if I do get set up eventually, I'll have a good shot at starting to get some one-hit knockouts. Yveltal EX is strong, but when I only have 1 energy on my Pokemon and it has 140 HP, it does take a lot of gas for that Yveltal EX to knock me out in 1 hit. I mean, we would need 6 energy between us, or 5 in a Dark Claw, or Muscle Band, either one. So it's actually a lot to knock out a Kingdra in 1 hit, and if you commit that much and it gets knocked out, then you're really losing out on a lot of energy, which is a pretty big deal. Now we get another Night Spear from Darkrai. I've only been able to muster up 30 damage up to this point. That is pretty sad. So we're going to go ahead and Rare Candy into the Greninja and try out something here. If I can, let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 water in the discard pile. So if I can Water Shuriken, that'll be 5 energy in the discard pile, and then Retreat, that's 6 energy in the discard pile. I put the 3 damage counters on Darkrai, Retreat, and then we could Dragon Vortex for 120 and actually knock out this Darkrai this turn. That would be a very, very good turn for me, I think. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I can guarantee 2 water energy with a Professor's Letter, so we're going to Skyla for that. Looks like that is in the prizes, though. So this is a good lesson to you. Check your prizes before you go ahead and make moves like this. Now, if I knew my Professor's Letter were prized, I would not have done this. I probably would have gone for the Juniper, and now We got some decisions to make. I was trying to check my discard pile to see if I had used the Professor's Letter already. Then I could take Dowsing Machine and just get it. But I don't think I played it this game. So now we're going to have to take something else. We could do a Level Ball or... could do maybe Super Rod, get some stuff back in the deck. Or maybe an N to prepare for next turn. There's all sorts of options here. I think Level Ball is actually the best, because I do have Rare Candy Greninja in hand, so if I lose the active one, I'm not too upset about it. So we'll just go ahead and Level Ball for another Froakie. And then evolve. I want to evolve that Seadra that has 60 on it, since the Night Spear would knock it out. And we're going to Mist Slash for 50 this turn. Not the most powerful attack, but hey, it's better than nothing, I guess. But we're going to be down 3 prizes here. Heavy damage on my board. My goodness. What am I going to do? Now, this just speaks to how powerful the Darkrai Yveltal deck is. It can do tons and tons of damage. Put on immediate pressure. And those red cards hurt as well. I mean, they can just explode with damage all of the time. It's really, really annoying to deal with. And we do see a Sableye with a Dark Claw and a Laser. Actually didn't need to put down the Dark Claw since the Verbank and the Poison would have done 30. And then, yep, there's a Confuse Ray for the knockout. But I guess that's fine. And boy. Now we got to decide what to do. I think I just promote Seadra. That's probably the best bet here. And hope we draw a Kingdra this turn. I can get another Greninja out. I'm going to have to discard one, unfortunately. But that's alright. We get to Rare Candy into a second Greninja. And I do get the Kingdra. So that works out. I already have the Water Energy on the active. We can Water Shuriken a couple times this turn. And, this is actually not that bad. So what I can do this turn, I'm just checking to see how much Water Energy is actually gone at this point. See if I want to Super Rod this turn or just wait until next turn to see what I want to shuffle back in depending on what happens. So I could Water Shuriken the Darkrai twice, putting 6 more damage counters on it, and then Tri-Bullet, putting 30 more. That'll leave it with 10 HP left, which is pretty annoying. But then we can just Water Shuriken next turn for a knockout. So that's kind of setting up for a big play next turn. We'll see if it pans out, but seems like the best thing to do here. And we're going to go for the Tri-Bullet. 1, 2, 3. Just going to hit those 3 EXs. Seems like going after the non-EXs is not really worth it at this point. Might as well just go for the big 2-2-2 game. 3 EXs, 2 prizes each. Adds up to 6 prizes. Seems like the best route to victory at this point. And we do see a 4th energy onto the Yveltal EX. And that might mean that I'm going to get Evil Balled for a knockout. But that's not completely bad, I guess. We do see a Juniper. Let's see, it would take 6 total energy between us for an Evil Ball knockout. Or, let's see, 5 and a Dark Claw. Or 5 and a Laser. I mean, all of those get a knockout. There is the Laser. And we'll see if another energy comes. Otherwise, I do survive with 10 HP, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, nope. I get knocked out. Evil Ball always does more damage than I think. Yeah, what a strong attack. Anyway, so now we can... well, this is going to be interesting. So I want to get a Water Energy this turn to Water Shuriken. And I also want another water so I can use Dragon Vortex. So I'm going to Super Rod, and I'm going to put in Voltorb for sure since he's very good late in the game. The Electrode Magnetic drawing is super good. And I might just shuffle in 2 Water Energy. Seems counterintuitive with the Dragon Vortex, but I think that's the right move just to make sure I get 2 energy this turn. And that's what I'm going to do. Shuffle in 2 water. We'll bench another Horsey. And this is going to be a really game-defining Juniper here. We do get 1 Water Energy. Oh, man. Now, I do know I have the Professor's Letter prized. And I think I have another Water Energy prized as well. So, I think I just go for the big Water Shuriken and try to get the monster play here. Knock out the Darkrai with Water Shuriken, get my 2 prizes, and then if I get another Water, got it! Alright, we can attach to the active and Dragon Vortex for the knockout. So this is a huge move here. Knocking out 2 EXs in one turn. That one big attack with Dragon Vortex does 140. The Water Shuriken takes down the bench Darkrai, and that's a 4 prize turn right there. And we've just eliminated pretty much all the energy off of my opponent's board at this point. That was an awesome turn. Now, I'm kind of susceptible to an N here. It may have been a good idea to Ultra Ball for a Voltorb there, so we can maybe set up for Electrode. But I would have had to discard a supporter to do it probably anyway, so it might not have been worth it. And we do see the N. This could be some dangerous territory at this point, but my opponent does have to take 2 more knockouts still. We do see the Hypnotoxic Laser, but that's even with a Confused Ray that wouldn't knock out Kingdra, and the 2 Water Energy actually provide me with a way to knock out Sableye. We can Water Shuriken, place 3 damage counters on Sableye, and then use Mist Slash with Greninja to get the knockout. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do this turn. Keep the pressure on. We'll Water Shuriken. Yeah, Water Shuriken. There we go. Discard a Water. Put 3 damage on the Sableye. Take the knockout. Go down to 1 prize. And all we have to do from here is get 1 more knockout. Is it possible? We were down 3 prizes here against what's sure to be one of the top decks in the format. And, a chorus off of the prize. It's going to be big. We can get 6 cards maybe next turn. And we do see a Rush In with Keldeo EX. And Energy and a Dark Patch. Uh-oh. So this Yveltal EX is going to get mighty powerful. And, there's a second Dark Patch. So right now it's doing 100 damage. Now, if my opponent has a Hypnotoxic Laser here, that is a knockout, and I think that would just about be the end of the game. I mean, it's tough to respond to. But if I survive, that's a big difference. And we just see the Evil Ball. So I do survive. All right. So I'm going to go with the Water Shuriken. Put the 30 on the Yveltal EX. And from here, we got the Voltorb in play. We got 3 Water Energy. Let's see. Now I could, if I retreat, and then Dragon Vortex for 80, it's just a 2 Water Shuriken, and we win the game. It would be left with 60 HP, so I got to decide here. Now I know my opponent plays Catcher. I'm actually more worried about a Darkrai getting a Night Spear and a double knockout for the win. But there's a lot of energy moving cards that are gone already. So I'm just going to go ahead with the Dragon Vortex here. 80 damage. We're shuffling in 4 Water Energy. And it's going to come down to this basically. Does my opponent have a way to win this turn or end me down to 1 card? Otherwise, we're just going to double Water Shuriken for the final 60 damage on that Darkrai. Or on that Yveltal EX, and win the game. My opponent is actually almost out of cards. Didn't even notice that. So he's got like 2 cards left. 2 in his hand, 1 in his deck. So we've actually put ourselves in a very good position here, and just a Y Cyclone for 90 damage. Gonna move the energy to the Sableye. And all I have to do is get 2 energy here, and the game is over. And we will have made a gigantic comeback with Kingdra Greninja, the double Stage 2 deck against one of the most aggressive decks in the format. And there we go. Just going to double Water Shuriken, take down the Yveltal EX, and take the game in a very unusual comeback. I really didn't see this one coming. Just had that one monster turn where we got the Water Shuriken knocking out the Darkrai. and the Dragon Vortex knocking out the Yveltal EX, both in the same turn, a 4-prize turn, and that's what we needed to make the comeback. And maybe this deck is a little more resilient than I thought. Maybe it's got some steam behind it. Who knows? There seems to be a lot of creativity openings for rogue decks and just new ideas in the format right now. And it's a pretty healthy game right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how state championships will end up and how the game will develop now that X and Y is out. So that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will certainly have some more videos for you soon. I am Pooka from the Top Cut, and I will see you guys next time.